There we go. We are live. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Breakdown Show. I am your host, AD, joined always by my co-host, my counterpart, my hetero life mate, JB3. What's going on, brother?
What's going on, man? I'm in the house, ready to break down some Raw and some Smackdown. We're gonna hit you fast. We're gonna hit you hard. It's gonna be just like a clothesline from hell.
That sounds good to me. Yeah, the format of the show is going to be this. We are going to come at you hard, fast, quick, and in a hurry. Um, we're gonna try to cut the show down to anywhere between 25 and 34 minutes. 34 is when something really big happens, and we're gonna dive into it. There are no more gonna be any hour and 15-minute breakdown shows from us, and we're gonna start giving you content in other ways. Like I said, this is an experiment. We just started the show a month and a half ago, and we're going to try to play around with new ideas and new innovations and new formats just to see where we finally get our stride and where we fall into. So with that being said, Raw this week. Hit me, James. Where we got?
All right. So sorry, I had someone was trying to call me. uh,
Sorry.
what's up, combatants? Yeah, we're gonna come at you fast. We're gonna come at you hard. We got a new format. We're gonna try new things. And like he said, if you feel like you have any suggestions, hit us up in the comments. Make sure
Like,
you
share,
like,
and
share,
subscribe.
subscribe, all that stuff, because it's important. It's important.
Yep, it
It's
doesn't
important to
cost you
watch.
anything to drop
Sure.
a thumbs up. It doesn't cost you anything to comment. And we like the feedback. We want to hear from you guys. And we would like for this show and this channel to grow. So, with that being said,
It's time.
story of the night on Raw. Who's going to
Story
be
of the
Seth
night.
Rollins' challenger at Money in the Bank? What did we end up with? Two triple threats, didn't we?
Yeah.
Samoa Joe, Rey Mysterio, AJ were the first one. The second one was The Miz, Drew McIntyre, and Baron Corbin. What were your thoughts, real quick, on those matches?
Yeah. So yeah, Triple H came out and then Seth came out. They had a really like emotional moment. I did like that. I want to mention that because it almost seemed like they came around full circle. But yeah, they had the two matches. The matches were pretty good. AJ won the first match. It was a solid match as you would expect from Samoa Joe, Ray, and AJ. And I was honestly, I thought they were going to give the nod to Corbin all the way, especially because in the second match he ended up. I love it. Claymore kick. All of a sudden he shoves him out, gets the easy win. Sneaky. And then I figured there was going to be some way that he was going to just bring out the whole thing, man. Corbin is that guy to me right now, and I don't want to admit it, but he's making do with what they're giving him, and is it's entertaining me. So,
Mm-hmm.
that the two triple threat matches were very very good, and they told the story. The main story was when Triple H came out and was talking to Seth. It was Seth was like, "Oh, this is what you were talking about. All these people want a piece of me. All these people want a chance and want a shot." And I do want to note that when Samoa Joe came out and he was talking about Becky having a good idea, being Becky two belts, not that long ago, just a few years ago, Seth Rollins was Sethi two belty baby. He had the US title and the WWE title, and he did the same thing that Becky's gonna do. He defended both of them in the same night when he wrestled Sting and John Cena.
Mm.
So in fact, Seth Rollins did that first, but it was funny that he mentioned that to Seth, and Seth didn't say nothing. So we have it all led up to the main event of the evening, which was AJ Styles versus Baron Corbin, and the winner will get an opportunity for the WWE Universal Championship at Money in the Bank. What did you think, bro? AD nasty. Was the match nasty?
The match was the best match to me of the night. Honestly, the nastiest match of the night was the very first triple threat, the AJ, Ray, and Samoa Joe. I think that's where you got your spot of the night. I think you would agree with me that would be spot of the night, how that
Yep.
match ended. But I enjoyed the Baron Corbin match with AJ just because I was already invested into the story. not so much for the spots.
Right. I like that. And people will give Baron a difficult time, but people got to remember that he's playing a bad guy.
Yeah, he's
He's going
supposed to
to,
have that heat.
and
And
as
we
long
have
as he
mentioned
don't,
it.
yeah, as long as he doesn't go on some tear, everybody knows he's going to be weak and he's going to lose and this and that, but he hasn't been, he beat Kurt Angle and it's like they add a new nickname every single week to this guy.
Mhm.
They add another nickname to what he's been doing.
His
So
accolades.
I really
Yeah,
thought he
and
was going to go.
me and you have said on this show, the boy can go. He can wrestle. He's
Yeah, he
athletic.
can.
He's athletic. He's clean. He has
And
that natural heat. People don't like him. And you know what? The more you don't like him, that means the better he is at his job.
hey, it is what it is, man. I can't even hate what you said. And
Yep.
AJ, having a match with AJ, I mean, AJ is phenomenal. You know you're going to have a good match out of him. And that's what ended up happening. He ended up hitting him with that phenomenal forearm. And boom, there it goes.
Oh, you
AJ
got
Styles
you got
versus
your
Seth Rollins.
yep, you got your
Money in the
Raw
Bank.
main event for Money in the Bank. AJ
And then
Seth.
Seth
A
came out.
lot of people are feeling out there that maybe they shot their wad a little early. That they could have built this after Rumble, and you could have had yourself an AJ Seth WrestleMania match. I don't think you can start the year off like that, have them go their separate ways and come full circle at WrestleMania maybe. But spot of the night, Styles Clash, Rey Mysterio on top of Samoa Joe. JB, break that down for me.
Oh yeah, it was. I don't know. Like he went into beast mode. He like slammed Ray, slammed Samoa Joe, and then picked up Ray, and then Styles clashed him right on top of Samoa Joe and got the pin. And then it was like, it makes me think that they're gonna build AJ pretty huge. And look, I know that they need to because he's gonna be getting the title shot. But I think that like long term, he was on SmackDown for 2 years. I think now he's finally on Raw. I think he's gonna come in. He'll be the Universal Champion before SummerSlam. If not at SummerSlam, if they do this match and he doesn't, I don't think he's gonna beat Seth. You can't take the title off Seth. But I think like have AJ, he'll lose, and then Seth can start a program with somebody. AJ's gonna end up having the title before year's end.
Okay.
There's no doubt about it.
All right. Current events, things that everybody's talking about on the episode. The Viking experience. I said it last week. You can quote me, go back, watch last week's show. It's real subtle. I don't have the exact time I said it, but as JB is my witness, I said that they should have went with Viking Raiders. And then
Viking Raiders.
I second guessed myself by saying, I don't think they would use two NFL team names together. Fast forward to this week, and they're the fucking Viking Raiders. But
The Viking Raiders.
you know what? It's better than the Viking experience. It's still not great, but what is great is the way they came out and they smashed the Lucha House Party. Yes, they beat the shit out of all three of them. They got over real well. People were in the back shook. I'm happy. I want those to be my next tag team champions, and I want them to have a hardcore, all-out program with the Usos that culminates in a Hell in a Cell. That's what I want. That's what I dream. Let's see if it happens. I don't know, JB. What's your thoughts, brother?
Look, I'm cool with everything that you said. I'm not really cool with the name, but it is what it is. There's nothing we can do. But I'll tell you this. I know why they don't have the War Raiders as their name on USA Network. It's because of the network, it's because of the sponsors, it's because of the word war. I swear to you right now, I will snap and stop watching Raw completely if I hear them say anything about a Monday Night War. If I hear the word war out of, but Raw is war, back any of the stuff that if they mention any of that stuff and they even say the word war, it's because that would just be redundant then. And it would be like they always do because they want to make a dumbass, stupid motherfucking idea and they want to try to cover it up. So the sponsor said we couldn't say this. No, it's because you're a fucking tard. And excuse my language. That's rough. And I'm not making fun of anybody legitimately except for Vince McMahon and his crazy booking.
Moving on to crazy. the return of Bray Wyatt. Now, forgive my ignorance, combatants, people watching out there. I am not so familiar with Bray Wyatt. I left watching wrestling for a little while. I've gone back and I've seen some matches, excellent ring work, and from what I've seen of his character, pretty dope. So when I hear people say if anybody can pull off the sadistic, some people were comparing him to Blues Clues. He's not really a Blues Clues comparison. It's more of a Mr. Rogers. For some of you young heads out there who don't know Mr. Rogers is, go watch the documentary. Won't You Be My Neighbor? You don't know, what real children's television show is unless you.
Man, hey, Mr. Rogers, Mr. Rogers was that dude.
Yup, won't you be my neighbor? So yeah, if Bray Wyatt can pull off the crazy Mr. Rogers, revamp his look, then he cut up with a chainsaw, a cardboard cutout of his old look.
Yeah. So yeah, this is one of those weird segments, and I heard that if you watch it a few more times, you'll catch more things.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so let me break you down on a little bit of Bray Wyatt. His promo skills, incredible. His character, very, very, very good character from just the basis of that's the type of character that he portrays. The only thing that has been his issue was his booking, his win and losses. As far as what he says, I can't hate. Maybe it got a little repetitive after a while, but it was his win loss. He lost too many big matches, and it just made people think he's not that big of a threat. Then he tagged with Matt Hardy, and then he got injured. He went out for a while, and this is what he's doing when he came back. And he had some gloves that said hurt and heal, and I think he was listening to them. And then that's when he cut out his old self of the cardboard. I'm just anxious to see where it goes, to be honest with you. I just want to see him in the ring.
Okay. And to wrap the show up, before we give it our rating, Bobby Roode is no longer Bobby Roode. He is the glorious Robert Roode. And did you notice the mustache, Rick Rude mustache? Cut off the facial hairs, got the little Rick Rude porn stash going.
Yeah, it's funny.
He had a decent match with Ricochet.
He reminds me of Rick Rude.
Yeah. It's the same gimmick. And you know what? For all these young heads out here who don't know who Rick Rude is, once again, do your homework. Go back. There's a WWE network. It don't cost too much. You can go back and watch everything. That's how I've been catching up. Shit. Yeah, he had a decent match with Ricochet. Ricochet dropped his first match on Raw.
Yeah, he beat him.
Yeah, clean.
Which, hey, I've been waiting on for him to be heel anyway. He was heel in NXT, and then he just went. I might have mentioned it last. I think I was mad about the Viking Raiders, and I mentioned it last week. I might not have mentioned it, but that's what happened. Mm-hmm. He was heel in NXT, and then came up with the same character, the same gimmick, but presented as a babyface. I don't know. It was just weird. Now he can do his thing because Bobby Roode is a wonderful heel. I'm excited that Ricochet is on. I just hope that he doesn't get ruined. I think Ricochet should be on SmackDown, man. And speaking of that, the last thing I'll say before we rate the show is, and it could be considered a current event, and we'll touch on it on SmackDown too. The Superstar Shakeup has been like twinkling into this week too, because like
was
reshook up. Yeah, it was all kinds of crazy. So rating 1 for, let's see, what week is this? 1 for a Thanos snap, and 5 for owning an Infinity Gauntlet to bring everybody back. I'm gonna give this episode of Raw. It's a weird thing. I'm gonna go with the same for me, 2.5, because there's a lot that I did not care about. I did not care at all, but the main story I actually was into, and the match qualities were good. So, given that, I enjoyed that part. 2.5 for me.
I'm in a better mood. I had a good morning of sleep. Now that me and you have broken it down, and I looked at it through fresh eyes, I'll give it a 3.2. I really enjoyed the fact that the Viking Raiders smashed on the Lucha House Party, and didn't even allow the match to start. They were Vikings. They pillaged. Awesome. AJ Seth storyline played itself out well. We got 3 really good matches out of it. I really enjoyed the Style Clash spot of the night, and yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with Bray Wyatt. I got to give it a 3.2. Moving on,
Smackdown.
SmackDown Live.
Smackdown.
Story of the night, where we got 2 little stories of the night. We're gonna call them mini stories, co-stories, yin and yang. We had the Roman Reigns angle with Shane McMahon and Elias, where after last week, Roman threw the Superman punch and knocked out the old man. They felt like they needed to punish him. They threw him a beating.
It was funny because Philly came out there and was like, best in the world. He did the whole thing. And he said, you attacked my father. Who? And he was like, who just sits there and attacks someone's dad like that? Like that was like, yeah, I see what you're doing there, buddy. That's funny. That's funny.
That's funny.
That's funny.
They keep showing the picture of his dad.
Oh yeah.
And the second story, we'll come right back to it, but the breakdown is New Day and Big O cutting a promo in the back. You can see where that was headed. Elias jumping back to the second story, the first story.
Elias, yeah.
Elias
comes out and beats down Roman, and then Shane McMahon beats him down too. Shane McMahon, is so.
I just want Shane McMahon to go back to being the general manager. Just run the show. You know, come out, stop putting your hands on people. Stop wrestling.
And if anything, just stop throwing punches, man. His punches are just the trashiest punches ever. And then he don't even sell Roman Reigns' big right hand. So it's just like, so, you know, with Roman Reigns, they've been not booking him at the top of the show. Like, you think about it, he's kind of feuding with Elias, and it's okay. Like, he feuded with Drew.
In my opinion, that's a mid-card.
Yeah, he's a mid-carder. Roman is a mid-carder, but it seems like they're gonna. I'm actually interested in what they're gonna do with Roman Reigns. But yeah, the only other thing that happened with that, and that's why we call it a mini story, is Elias starts singing a song, and this I liked. This he sung a song and challenged Roman in the lyrics of the song.
That was
challenging him to a match at Money in the Bank, and I'm like, and then he said because Elias is Money in the Bank, so I'm like, I like that a lot. And then Shane, for some reason, was like, "Hey, we gotta go." And then they left.
Roman was floating around there.
And then Roman was like, "Of course I accept," even though Shane said, "I'm the boss. I'll make it happen anyway." Roman still was like, "I accept. I'm gonna kick your ass." And then there it is. They're gonna wrestle at Money in the Bank, and it's gonna be fun to watch. I want to see Roman Reigns do some destructive things. Maybe it'll be a no DQ match, or
I want to see Elias.
And then the second story, we got some backstage stuff. You know, the Big O is still with the New Days, doing his thing, shaking his hips. He was drinking water, not eating any pancakes, whatever. But you know, to be honest with you, man, I don't even know how they set up the Kofi Kingston versus Shinsuke match. And was it for the title? I think it was for the title. I was really sleepy. I'm not gonna lie, but they had the match, and I actually really liked the match. Shinsuke doesn't get enough like credit to do the things that he could do, and it was good to see him in a good little main event spot match. And yeah, bro, man, it was crazy. They had the match, and then Rusev ran in, and everybody was running in, and then the New Day ran in, and then Kofi Kingston took Kinshasa outside the ring, Xavier Woods did, and turns out Kevin Owens super kick, pow, to Kofi Kingston out of nowhere. Heel turn, you get him the title. Hope your kids had a good time.
Hope your kids had a good time.
Take this,
kid. This is mine. You think this belongs to you?
He tries to rip the whole shirt, but he's not Hogan. He can't quite get off.
Right. You know what? In defense of KO, those Hulk Hogan shirts, they were always, he had razors to cut
Oh yeah.
tiny.
It's
You
like,
know what I mean? So don't let him fool you. Fuck out of here.
oh, he can't. But man, come on, it's Hogan, bro.
He
He's
said, he
huge.
saw, no, but did you see KO? He didn't know what to do with the shirt.
Oh yeah.
Oh, great. Oh, how do
Yeah,
you
he's
botch?
back. He's back to being a heel, and I'm going to say this right now before we talk about the spot of the night. I'm getting scared that they did this move because they brought him back as a babyface, okay,
Mhm.
and he wasn't necessarily doing a bad job,
Mm-mm.
but now they turned him heel. Daniel Bryan got injured, and it's been close-lipped on what that injury is or what it has to deal with. It could be neck related. And to
Concussion.
see KO turn into a heel means SmackDown is in need of a heel, which means two things. Either Daniel Bryan's going to go to Raw or his injury is more serious than we thought. And I hope it's not the latter.
Yeah.
So get well, Daniel Bryan. I hope he's okay. He's still the planet's champion. But yeah, spot of the night for me and for you, we talked about this before.
You know what? After thinking of it, there's definitely a spot of the night, but I have an honorable mention.
Okay, well, what's the honorable mention?
The KO power bomb Xavier Woods on the side of the mat. Did you hear that impact?
I did not. It was too
Oh my
chaotic. It
god!
was chaotic. I'll go back and watch it. I heard someone else mention that too.
Yeah,
That it was pretty
you know how
nasty.
he power bombs people on the
Apron.
the out from the outside.
Yep.
Dude, when he power bombed, all right, he was gonna do it to Kofi, and Xavier jumps over the top rope and breaks it up. But since Xavier fell on top of Kofi and it fell on the floor, Kevin, he only broke it up. He didn't hit Kevin.
Okay.
Okay, so he saves Kofi, but he jacks himself up in the process. Kevin looks, gives him a quick punch, drags him by the afro. Bang! Dude, when he hit him on that, it was like, bah! It sounded like, you ever take a wood bat and hit a tree?
Yeah.
That clack. That's exactly how it sounded.
Yeah, that's not.
That's my honorable mention.
Whew.
Shout out to Xavier Woods for taking a hell of a bump.
Yeah, I did not see that one. I don't know. Like I said, I was really sleepy. I was trying not to miss everything.
Yeah, go back, treat yourself. Don't even have to watch the whole thing. Just watch
But
that little spot.
the spot of the night is going to segue us right into current events because it's kind of a current
You
event.
didn't mention the spot of the night.
That's what I said. The spot of the night is going to segue us into the next
current
one
events.
because the current events. Yeah, bro. Because check it out. The spot of the night is Kairi Sane and her insane elbow. Anybody, combatants, anybody, go back on SmackDown and watch this elbow drop. She does this all the time. If you just watch regular elbow drops, I don't know if you can appreciate elbow drops enough because I'm telling you, we were talking about it before the show. She winds her arm back, turns sideways, and she just demolishes people. That's the kind of thing that when you can make something your own. She made that her own, and that's the spot of the night. And the way I see it segues into the current events is because current events, the Iconics still losing. I don't even know if we mentioned it on Raw. They lost. Naomi beat them.
That match. You know why I didn't bring it up? That match was horrible.
Oh yeah, and then but the Kyrie Payton match wasn't that bad, and they put Kyrie over. But they're gonna do that. People are bitching that the Iconics are losing already in singles matches, but you know what? It's okay that they lose. Hey, I'm okay with them losing singles matches because their strength isn't singles. That's the whole point of their tag team is that their strengths lie in within being together and working together in a group. And I think that when they defend the tag titles at Money in the Bank, I want to see them retain, and I want them to almost okay. So with the Revival, they use heel tactics, but they're really, really good. Like with the Iconics, I want them to use more of the heel tactics because even though they're okay, everyone knows they're no crazy good team. That's their only way they're going to win, and that's the only way they should win, and they should build that up until they can't no more kind of like when the Revival lost against DIY, and then they both had no other choice. They were trying to stop each other from tapping out and grabbing each other's hands, and then eventually they both started tapping out. They couldn't do anything else. I'd love to see them play that story out with the Iconics.
And moving on from the Iconics, staying in the realm of women's wrestling, Becky Two Belts comes out. Has to deal with Charlotte's bullshit. Charlotte trying to jump the line. It's a Bailey coming out.
Hey, I gotta say this about Charlotte. Hey, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I gotta cut you off. I want to say this about Charlotte. Charlotte had a point. Like everything she said, like it was annoying me at first because, like you said, it's like, man, here we go again, here we go again, here we go again. But then it kind of hit me. I was like, man, she's got a point. Like she never lost. She didn't lose the belt.
But she did lose.
Right, she lost the match, but she was like, she didn't beat me. She beat Ronda. So
yeah, but you got beat because in the context of the match.
Yes.
Look at it as a poker thing. If three of us are playing Hold'em and we all go all in, right? And you have the better hand, you take my money and Joe Schmo's money.
Well, winner take all. For sure. I'm with you on that. But I'm just saying I see her point because she's basically
the one who got pinned or tapped.
Right. And Becky's whole gimmick is the man, right? She beat Ronda. So I'm just saying Charlotte has a claim to a match. But Bailey came out, and then Bailey, finally, man, I'm starting to see something out of Bailey that I might like, even though, yeah.
I think, not to cut you off, I think when we were talking about last week about when you said Bailey sucks, and I agree with you, her in-ring is excellent. You agree with that?
Yeah.
Her promos are trash. And I think the promos are trash because the character is trash.
Yeah, they ran that
hugging shit and into the ground. I like Mean Bailey.
I love Mean Bailey.
Out of motherfuckers' hands. Where she's
no
still
more hugs, no more bullshit. Just come out and wrestle. Because that's just fucking wrestle. And Charlotte beat her. I would have been totally cool with Charlotte making her points, but losing to Bailey. But she beat Bailey, so we're gonna get Charlotte versus Becky again, and
I think this is the last one.
I hope so, and I hope that she gets I hope she gets beat horrendously. In fact, I wouldn't mind. Like, this is what I would like to see. I would like to see her have her match with Charlotte, do awesome in her match with Charlotte, but it's a war, like you said. Beat Charlotte, and then Lacey Evans walk out all fancy pantsy. She's gonna pick her up, and as soon as she goes to pick her up, disarm her, tap out right away. Becky wins that match. Boom, she caught her real fast, and then real quick. It won't. And Lacey's just starting. It ain't gonna hurt her. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think. That's what I think should happen. But
what does happen? Let's see.
It's all about this. I think that Becky Lynch will lose one of the titles with a Money in the Bank cash in.
Sounds about right. Maybe I don't know. 2 pay-per-views after Money in the Bank, she loses it. SummerSlam.
Yeah, I could be cool with that.
Yeah,
sometime within here on SummerSlam. Yeah.
All right, brother. Come down to time of the show. Time to give it a rating. Smackdown. 1 snap. 2 5 is bringing everybody back. Where you at?
I'm at 3 for SmackDown, and I'm not going to say that's a bad rating. It's more than 2.5. I was kind of like opposite with this in Raw. I wasn't really digging the main story that was being told, just from the perspective, like, it wasn't a big story. It seemed like a bunch of mini stories. Something that I actually liked better on Raw was how they tied everything in across the whole show with the title shot. But I loved SmackDown for the surprise, I mean, they had KO revealing himself at the end. That was huge for me. I really enjoyed that. The Aleister Black promo we didn't actually mention in the current events. I should bring up real quick. He might be turning heel. Uh, it was a kind of a crazy, weird promo. I'm really interested to see what he does. And by the way, the superstar shakeup. I just want a disclaimer. I think one of the biggest reasons is because of people dating each other and people married to each other.
Yep,
And
Charlotte didn't want to be away from Andrade, so where Andrade goes, Selena Vega goes, and where Selena Vega goes, Aleister Black has to go.
yeah, so they all got shipped over. Which, hey, whatever, it's cool. I don't know. I
You know
like them
what?
both.
I ain't mad at it. You know why? Because these people barely have time to be family people, and
Right.
they usually find family within each other. And if you care
Yeah.
about and love somebody, you don't want them one place and you're the other place, and you see each other maybe on Fridays, maybe on Saturday. That's no life to live. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I'm cool with them. I'm cool with seeing on SmackDown because I really like to see him on SmackDown and
Mhm.
stay because I wasn't ready for him to leave SmackDown yet. But
Okay.
yeah, 3 for that. Give it a 3. What about you? What do you got? What you gonna give it?
Um, I'm with you on this one. I jumped out the window a little bit on Raw with 3.2, but this is a solid three and a half for me.
I
I,
like it.
yeah, I'll go with a 3.5. Why not? Yo, um, just to give the people a quick breakdown, we were discussing this off air about having topic shows, fantasy draft shows, what if shows, and this is all things that we want to bring to you, but the viewer. But if this is what you want, um, sooner or later, me and JB3 have a vision for what we want to do, and we want to bring it to you guys. We're passionate. We enjoy talking about this. We enjoy having a good time and brainstorming. So, like I said, you can catch us right here on the Combat Wrestling Network, doing trivia, breaking down shows, topics, everything. Yeah, JB3. Where can the people find you?
Hey, you can find me right here at the Combat Wrestling Network. I just want to throw a few plugs out there. I want to let everybody know that this is a channel and it's a group for people who that they want to have fun. You want to get into some trivia matches. You want to cut some promos in those trivia matches. Everyone's welcome to join. You want to watch some videos about some countdowns, about some lists, breakdowns of Raw and SmackDown. Come on over and watch our Raw and SmackDown breakdown or the breakdown every Wednesday around 3 or 4, and then every Thursday at some point. I'm not too sure of the timing. Join Hunter on the Wrestling Network for the NXT breakdown, and then yeah, that's join our channel. Just like, share, subscribe if you could. Uh,
Comment below.
get ready. I mean, we need combatants. We need people that want to, there's wrestling fans out there everywhere. And if you know wrestling and you want to put it to the test, get into some of these matches. There's a middleweight division, there's a heavyweight division. The heavyweight division consists mostly of one-on-one matches, and there's a title, and everyone wants a chance to champion. And the middleweight matches, they consist of usually fatal five-way matches. To the winner of that championship is
Right.
basically like a Money in the Bank. You get a title shot of the heavyweight division. It's really fun. It's really informative when it comes to wrestling, and it's just a bunch of guys having fun. So join us.
Hell yeah. I was thinking about getting into a match. See what I know, what I don't know, what I remember, and what I don't.
Come on
You
in,
know,
man.
I was thinking about it. Also, if they do a tag team, I think we got this.
Oh yeah, they won't, they won't. I'm gonna put that right there right now and say that they won't do that. That is a
and,
negative.
and if they
They're afraid.
decide to,
They're afraid.
we are the inaugural tag team champions. We're gonna be Team Breakdown.
Yeah, we would
Um,
be team breakdown, and we would break them down. That's what we would do.
I am AD Nasty. You can find me on Facebook at Adonis Nazario. You can find me. I think I have a Full Metal Geek match on Full Metal Trivia coming soon. I believe it's on Monday. It's against a guy named Nazario Montenegro who thinks it's funny to be like, "Oh, we got the same name. You're my tether, dude." It's my last name. It's your first name. You were named after me. If anything, I'm older. Um, and you can find me on Multiplex in Fandom Fights. And I was supposed to have a Nerdgasm fight, debate fight, but I don't know much longer my trivia career is gonna go. There are a lot. I have a lot of ideas for this channel and for this show in particular. And I want to put all my energy into blowing this up and making it the best it can be. So I can't do that without you guys' thumbs up, your likes, your comments, and your subscription. I am AD. That's been JB3. This has been the breakdown, and we out this thing. Deuces.
Peace.